resolutions, human resolutions. Gotta appreciate the gratitude and love, dancing with the drum. All this makes my heart beat. Cause we're all about solutions, human resolutions. Gotta appreciate the gratitude and love, dancing with the drum. All this makes my heart beat. Cause we're all about solutions, human resolutions. Gotta appreciate the gratitude and love, dancing with the drum. All this makes my heart beat.
I love that song. That song is amazing.
Awesome. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Highlights. We've got an amazing panel of political TikTokers here for you today, so I'm going to just jump right in and introduce them. I'm going to start out with Amanda Henn from Nadineiswoke.
Hey, everybody, it's Nadineiswoke. Just here to have fun with everybody. Keep it going, baby.
Next, we've got Paddy the Panda, or as his handle says right now, Santa Claus.
Wow, I'm not sure. Actually, how did that? Whoa. Come back to me.
It's gonna fix it.
I'm dead right now. That was so good. You know what's funny? I saw that earlier and I didn't say anything.
I just thought he meant to do that.
Okay, next we have food expert all the way from Albania right now.
Yeah, well, I'm the food expert. I travel the world trying different foods, and I'm right now currently in Albania. I just got here 2 days ago. I got tear gas today for the first time in my life. I mean, not tear gas directly, but I got tear gas like indirectly with like a tear gas bomb. So it was like kind of like, you know, indirect with the wind somehow got like in my eye, and I could feel it in my throat and I could feel it in my eyes. So it was like not a strong dose. It was only for like 5 minutes. I felt the tear gas, but it was enough to make me realize tear gas is not fun. So, but that's something to know.
I'm glad you are okay.
Next I got out of there because I knew that things were getting worse. I heard some banging. I heard some fireworks. There was some bus stops that were like broken. So I knew that area, like the center of Tirana, was not safe. So I got out of there as soon as I could. And yeah, anyways, I travel the world. My name is Bert, and I come from the channel Food Expert. We'll move on to Lord.
All right, hey, next have Lord Timothais.
Hi, everybody. I've missed a couple of streams. I've been dealing with some family stuff, but I'm back. I dabble in politics, and as you can see, we won. I also deal with racial inequality on the internet. So we're dealing with that. You can find my website at timmynation.org. That's it.
You are amazing, and your content is always great. Next, we have Paddy the Panda.
Thanks very much. Hey, guys. Yeah, so on TikTok, I'm Paddy the Panda. Most of my content is political with a bit of comedy. Lately, I've actually been falling in love with my country again, so I've been showing you a little taste of that as well. I'm kind of sad to see him because Brain Daddy isn't here, and you know I like to bully him on these streams, so it's unfortunate. But hey, yeah, I'm looking forward to having a chat, and I feel very humbled to be part of this group of people. Thank you.
Awesome. And next we have Saadia M.
Thanks. My name is Saadia ____M on TikTok, and I do political TikToks, and I just comment on a lot of dog videos. So that's what I do.
I love it. I mostly dabble in whale talk. I go on whale TikTok.
That's why there's so many whales on my For You page.
You know what? It's a very serene place to be. I recommend it. And last but not least, we have Abe from Won't Be Silent.
Hi, my name is Abe. Won't Be Silent is kind of like what I'm obsessed with, hoping that the world just will never be, especially in this world where like anti-Semitism and racism is just spiraling out of control no matter what. So anyway, I just try to be funny. I always try to be honest, and that's it. And YouTube channel is Won't Be Silent. Instagram is Won't Be Silent, but Instagram I'm not interested in anymore. And that's it.
Awesome. You're the new Gen Honest Abe. I love it. And
brutally honest Abe is what I've been called when I was younger.
That's awesome. And I am Mermaid Mama Maggie. My name is Maggie Reed, and I will be hosting this evening. So right away, I just want to jump right into a clip. I think we all know that some new news just came out about the Supreme Court and Texas. So here you go.
A major development in President Trump's push to overturn the election. The Supreme Court has weighed in, and now authorities in Texas are leading a new case. ABC's Alex Perche is in Washington with the latest. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, Kenneth. So the state of Texas is now suing 4 other states, hoping to block their votes in the Electoral College. And it comes as the Supreme Court dealt a crushing blow to the president. This morning, a possible fatal blow to President Trump's efforts to overturn the election. The Supreme Court has denied a request from Pennsylvania Republicans who argued that millions of votes in the state have been unconstitutionally cast by mail. The court dismissed the case without hearing it.
A one-sentence order from the Supreme Court rejecting that entire case. No reasoning, just no, get out of here. There's no doubt that this is a clear message from the Supreme Court that they want no part of this campaign in the courts to overturn the election.
But another lawsuit is now headed to the court. The Attorney General of Texas is suing Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, and Wisconsin, claiming the changes those states made to their voting procedures during the pandemic are unlawful. Legal experts are dismissing the case.
We don't like people messing with Texas, and other states are not going to like having Texas mess with them. The states are responsible for running the ways in which votes happen in each of their jurisdictions.
In the meantime, a recent survey by the Washington Post finds about 88% of Congress, or 220 lawmakers, would not say who won the presidential election. That includes the 2 Republican senators in Georgia facing a runoff election next month. Overnight, Senators Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue saying they fully support President Trump's legal recourses and the lawsuit filed by the Texas Attorney General. The Republican Lieutenant Governor of Georgia is now warning of profound consequences for Republicans who refuse to accept that Joe Biden won.
Long term, I'm really concerned that this hurts the brand. And we'll get there. We'll have plenty of time to kind of digest and learn from some things that we did really well the last 4 years, and certainly some things that we can do better. I'll start with, I think we can communicate to America better than 280 characters on Twitter.
All right, guys, let's talk. So what do you think about the Supreme Court throwing this out?
Okay, I'll go first. So I'm not surprised at all. I've been saying this since this nonsense was drafted by Paxton. I said it was an audition for a pardon for him because it's pardon season in the White House. I read the brief. There were so many spelling errors. I thought that Sidney Powell had written it. Like, it was that bad. Where's New California? Where's New Nevada? I've never heard of these places. But hey, it was just very embarrassing. And for me, this was the last gasp effort by the trumpets, from what I understand. And I knew from the second it was drafted that it was going to be thrown away. You can't have states suing other states for how they handle their business. And this is the Republican Party, who don't like federal government, but prefer states to have their own business and handle their own business themselves, suing other states for doing exactly what they're supposed to be about. It's embarrassing. Texans should be embarrassed. Paxton should be thrown out with the dishwater, and we need to move on, and Donald Trump should fuck off right off to Mar-a-Lago for a couple of months. Thank you very much.
Can you keep
Very
Misspelled his own name.
Very well said, Patty. Anybody else want to chime in?
That's the end.
See you later.
Well, I guess that if I can add, the danger of having states sue other states because they don't like the outcome, you're setting a dangerous precedent for future elections, first of all. And secondly, you have to prove that it's damaged your state somehow, which it didn't do. Now, I'm if you see my eyes wandering, I'm looking at my phone and the TV because all kinds of, it's like CNN in here. Everything's going. But it's just, we all know why they're doing this. It's a big, big distraction. And I know this isn't in the topic, but I'll save it till the end. But I'll just say this much. It's a distraction because there's about to be investigations into Operation Warp Speed. There's money missing. There is things, and I don't want to, get us off topic, but just put a pin in it and remember This has all been a big distraction. They know this was an uphill battle. It got laughed out of every court that ever tried to entertain it. And these lawyers who risk their reputations, putting their somehow good names behind this crap, it should just be looked at. There should be censures. No one is being punished for this behavior, is my point. And then if we don't make someone accountable for these frivolous actions, it's just going to ruin democracy further, is all I'm saying.
The governor of Montana came out today and said that everything that's in this brief that they're suing the 4 states for, that Montana did those exact same things. So why wasn't Montana part of the list of 4 states? Why weren't they suing Montana as well? And the answer, because Donald Trump won Montana. So they don't care about the due process. They don't care about their voting rights being watered down by illegal votes elsewhere. Because if they did, they'd be suing all of the states with the same practices. Right. So yeah, I agree. It's all nonsense. Yeah.
And also too, I'm pretty sure these Supreme Court justices probably said, well, let's look at this for a second. What about the Senate races in these states that got more votes than Trump? This makes this lawsuit look ridiculous on its face. I mean, so this would make Mitch McConnell's race, Susan Collins, Tom Tillis. I mean, it just opens a big pothole of foolishness for any election that you don't want a certain color of person voting for you. It's just, I'm sure these Supreme Court justices was just going, oh my God, I just don't want any of this. I don't want any of it. And that's pretty much what they said in their decision.
I just want to add again. So I just want to add again, just there, in terms of setting a precedent, with the Supreme Court stacked the way it is conservatively, can you imagine when Roe v. Wade comes up and maybe gets knocked back to the states, and then you have some states suing other states based on the reproductive rights of women? Yeah. That would be allowed if this had been successful. Yeah, it's really, really dangerous. Or some states voted on the legalization of marijuana. You would have some states, Colorado being sued by, I don't know, North Dakota or something like that. You know, so those are significant things that may or may have happened. And thankfully, the SCOTUS stood by their vow to uphold the Constitution and slapped it back.
Our forefathers are rolling in their graves going, what in the HE double hockey sticks is going on? We knew a man like Donald Trump would come along, but now here's the fear. Someone who will pick up where he left off, who is smarter than him, will succeed. And that's the fear.
Well, that's smarter and more articulate.
I just want to say that at the end of the day, as horrific as this whole experience was, America's, it works. At the end of the day, when we came down to the microscope of how this works, we ended up winning. So what we have to do is just never allow people like him to get as far up the food chain. You know what I mean? The separation of the 3 governments at the end of the day worked. We just watched fires and breeze.
See, I disagree. From Ireland, I disagree with that because I don't think it works. If it worked, you wouldn't have had the last 5 weeks of stress and anxiety and worry and ambiguity and connotations and conspiracy theories, and nobody knows. People were worried about this Supreme Court taking up this because nobody understood if it was possible. There's so much ambiguity in your democratic system that it's not actually democratic. So if I was you guys, I'd be looking over the next 2 years, not 4 years because of the midterms, the next 2 years, how to shore up all of these ambiguous situations with proper and significant legislation so that we all don't have to go through all this nonsense again.
I totally agree, Paddy. And what I think is so insane is that we have given a voice to these frivolous allegations in this country. And that sets the most dangerous precedent.
Yeah, but the we is the media, and the media is the culprit here. And after this election is finished, it is our responsibility as people who care a lot about our country to keep staying after every politician that signed that thing. Every person that we would talk about in TikTok, whatever, we have a responsibility to keep this conversation alive, I think.
Abe, that sounds wonderful, but you guys are missing the underlining factor here. Until we deal with race in this country, none of anything of what any of you all are saying will matter. Race is is the underlining factor. Look Look what the basis of all of their cases are, that there's fraud in black counties. What the hell is even that? There is a factor with race in this country that Donald Trump didn't start, but he stoked. He inflamed. And 74 million people thought that was just fine and they were okay with that. I cannot look back on that. I look at everybody differently. I look at every person speaking strangely differently, because it all should have changed us. You should want fairness. I know I keep saying this. You should want fairness for everyone in America, and that's not what's happening. And it's trickled all the way up to our elections because our president thinks it's okay to say, oh no, I don't want to count all of Michigan's votes, just the black ones in this county right here. They're fraud. That's just wrong. And everything of what everyone's saying is great. I love it. It's fine. It's wonderful. But until you deal with race in this country, it is never going away. It's always going to be in our face. It may simmer down once Biden is in, but it's still going to be there because these 74 million people are still going to listen to Trump's Twitter feed and hear what crap he's kicking up and what Lindsey Graham is not saying and what Ted Cruz is kind of saying and what Marco Rubio won't say. And that's just the point blank facts.
May I make a point, please? I think he's going to go the way of Joseph McCarthy. Joseph McCarthy took the 50s by storm with the communist thing. And I think Trump's going to fade out just like he did, because it's going to continue on. And all of this craziness that he's done in the last 5 weeks, especially the last 5 weeks, in 5 years it's been. But I really do believe that at the base of everything, I think people are good. And I'm sorry, but I lived through the 50s and 60s in Alabama. And I can tell you, honey, it can't get worse than that. And today is Hanukkah. And I can tell you that my family went through a similar thing in Poland. And, I just think that people are more educated and everything than we're giving them credit for. And I know that there's 70-something million that voted for the idiot, but it's going to turn around.
I have to say I disagree. I completely disagree.
Well, I know you would.
Because and I'll tell you why. I disagree on two ways. The Republican Party as it exists today needs Donald Trump. Donald Trump added 5 million votes to their base by being an absolute asshole. And they need that because there's no new layer of Republicans coming up. There's no fiscal conservatives. It's all assholes. Sorry to break it to you, and I'm sorry for the language. The second thing is apathy. We talk about the 74 million people who voted for Donald Trump. 18 million people didn't vote at all. The apathy around all of these issues. And Lord Timothais is right. Race is a massive issue, but apathy and the racial tensions, nothing is going to change until you motivate these 80 million people who don't bother and sort out the race issue. So those are three things. And Donald Trump right now is too important to the Republican Party because he will come in at the midterms, and I guarantee, because Biden won't have done half the stuff he promised, and he'll turn over the house.
Well, I agree with you, but
go ahead, Saadia.
I was going to say I completely agree with Lord Timothais as well. I was going to say that when you have a case like this that we all know is frivolous, I didn't think it was going to make it anywhere. And of course, Paxton's working for his pardon. But the other thing I would say is that I think they're laying that groundwork of loyalty, that the Republican base, because they're going to get rid of Trump soon, that they're going to keep that. And so those seeds of racism, those seeds of, we cater to this base, we're loyal to this base, we were loyal to Trump, they're going to rise up in 4 years. And that's what I saw this case as. I didn't really see it as a threat, but I personally saw it as like, this is what they're setting the framework for in 4 years is keeping this all alive.
I completely agree, Saadia. And I think that a huge part of this narrative that they have created is just to delegitimize Joe Biden's presidency. And so the entire time that he's in there, hopefully we can still get the Senate, but the entire time he's in there, we're going to have a big portion of this country that do not look at him as their president. Because
Maggie, then that just adds to the hypocrisy because they'll be benefiting from the policies that will help them.
Yes.
When they're so hateful and only wanting to speak of what someone's not doing for them and whining about being a victim. Can we talk about being a victim for a minute in America?
Absolutely.
This man has classified the actual white man in America as a victim. He's absolutely, I'm about to curse right now, so I'm gonna pause for 30 seconds in my mind while I just do a rant of F word through this whole thing. I have never seen a more inferior set of grown ass men in my life, and they know it.
Yes.
They know it.
Yep.
And Amanda, to what you said, you know, you can still be smart and be a racist. In fact, you know the difference between a dumb racist and a smart one? A smart one smiles in your face. Remember that.
Listen,
Now,
I still think it's our responsibility to go after these people. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I just think that we can't rely. The media enhanced. We are here because the media enhanced his story from the beginning, even before he started running. He was already with the birthing movement. The media picked up on that. So we're not going to have a media that's going to be nice to Joe Biden. They're not going to get clickbait from being sweet and all that. Oh, and he made a good policy today. And what, a commercial? It's not. They have created their own beast, and now we have to be the anti-beast. And us individuals who are the ones that I really feel strongly about that.
Okay, I'm just going to say one more thing, and then I'll be finished with this topic. If something happens to Joe Biden, God forbid, through the first term of his presidency and Kamala Harris becomes president, you guys are going to see what fairness is, and they're not going to like it. Trust me when I say, just remember I said this. You're going to see America that should be, and not America that could be. Watch what I tell you.
And it's not that I'm disagreeing with any of y'all. I just think that in the end, you know, they're going to get tired of him. And the only reason I think the Republicans went along with him because they're afraid that if they don't, when they run again, he's going to still be twittering, and some crazy person's going to run against him in the primary.
I want
And
to
Amanda,
take the
like,
next.
sorry,
go ahead,
I just wanted to add there that I'm all for trying to convince these people to change their ways and trying to change the narrative. But like, we've all been working our asses off for the last, you know, some of us for our entire lives, some of us for a little shorter, trying to convince people who are filled with hate to change their minds and be a little bit different. I don't think people who are full of hate run out of energy and change. What we need to do is we need to look at the current crop of adults in America and wipe the slate clean and focus everything on education and the next generation coming up, because it's only with those people who are open-minded, who are full of autonomous learning, who can read properly and listen. It's only when those people are of age that America will become the great country that everybody thinks it already is.
Well, if you put term limits on these guys,
they
won't have long enough to have this deep-rooted seed of hate that follows them through all 30 years of career. Term limits on these guys, and you'll see in America.
They're the ones that have to vote on it.
You'll see an America that reflects the people if you term limit these people.
Definitely. NPR was just doing a thing on Dianne Feinstein. She is like completely has no memory left, and
none.
She has no business having the position that she's in, which is the big discussion. But then it comes up with, but you know, the men who were 100 years old stayed there. So then it's becoming sexist. But term limits and end, that has to be I don't even know how you even achieve that.
Honey, it has, the ones that are there would have to vote on it, and it's never going to happen.
Well, then that's the problem. That's the problem with the system. We're allowing them to police themselves. That's the problem. That's why nothing ever gets fixed.
Well, hold on. Like Paddy said, it all boils down to education.
Absolutely.
And making sure, because right now we are in a country that's so divided because of misinformation and a lack of education. If we can change those things, we can change lots of things. But people want to keep the status quo the way it is. And they will do anything to keep us uneducated and keep people down, because that's how people stay rich and the people in power stay in power. So what's the solution here?
Jill Biden.
Jill Biden.
I'll tell you what the solution is. It's very controversial, but put women in charge of everything. That's the solution.
Amen.
That's the solution.
I agree with
half
that.
Half white, half black, half Latino. In fact, put them in charge of everything. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
So on this same topic, I wanted to hear from former President Obama. That would be a nice little mashup. But I wanted to hear from Obama because, you know, in these crazy times, he is a calming voice that I like to listen to. So here we go.
What are these false claims of widespread election fraud doing to our country right now?
They appear to be motivated in part because the president doesn't like to lose and never admits loss. I'm more troubled by the fact that other Republican officials who clearly know better are going along with this, are humoring him in this fashion. It is one more step in delegitimizing not just the incoming Biden administration, but democracy generally. And that's a dangerous path.
All right. So who just doesn't love this guy? He's so amazing. I mean,
full sentences, my favorite.
The calming words of Obama. But I think we can all say that we agree with his sentiment that, you know, it's crazy that we have people going along with this false narrative of Donald Trump and that we actually have a sitting president that is up there delegitimizing an actual democratic election. It should be infuriating us. And I feel like a big portion of this country is so apathetic to this at this point that they just don't care. Everyone's just kind of on the sidelines and eating popcorn, right?
Not us.
Not us, but
yeah.
It's the blind leading the dumb. It's just this. Half of the people are scratching their watch and the other half are winding their butt. That's all there is to it.
I still think he's a Russian asset. I'm sorry.
That's all it is to it.
Yep.
And I learned, I know this is off topic, Maggie, I'm sorry. But what I learned is after Trump is gone, we're still going to be paying for this fool. You know that?
God, yeah.
He gets $219,000 in pension a year till he's
Plus
dead.
$1 million for an office.
Yeah, and what's her name? The wife, she'll get $20,000.
And we're going to be paying $20,000 after he dies. So
After
he's
he
going to
dies.
probably die soon. We're going to probably be paying that pretty soon because he might
point
die
is,
very soon. He's
I
going
say
to
that-
eat cheeseburgers every day.
I say that because for this mistake, we'll constantly be paying for it. This mistake.
I mean,
No doubt.
I think politicians need to right now be saying that Trump was responsible for the word murdering 300 and however many thousand people. If we don't be as tough, we have to do. Somebody needs to talk like him about him. That's just all there is to it. Democrats are known to be wusses, and we need somebody that's going to be like
mad.
The only person who held his feet to the fire was Bernie. I think Bernie was the only person that was crazy enough to really say it as he felt it.
And look what they did to Bernie. They shut him down because he spoke too much truth. He looked like the crazy white-haired man, but he spoke the truth. You put that same rhetoric that Bernie was speaking in the likes of what I say, Elizabeth Warren, maybe? And, well, she was kind of that way, too. AOC? Wait a minute. AOC was kind of like that, too. My point is they get shut up. They get pushed to the side. They get labeled. They get name-called. And then everyone goes along with it. The people who speak the truth are the ones that aren't listened to. It's just amazing. This country is just amazing.
Why we have to get rid of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Tom Perez.
The old guard has got to go. They're the problem. The old guard has got to go. Both sides.
Obama said that other day. He said they all.
So you guys, the actual fact is, yes, Trump did have 300,000 people die so far from COVID, but he is a real murderer. He just put to death row the black guy that was on death row for 20 years, and he got sentenced at 18 years old. He's 41 years old, and he got put to death because they just want to do crazy stuff in the White House, putting random people to death. It's insane. The guy really has remorse.
16 people since 16 people since January.
Yeah,
and there's five more to go until he leaves office.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. If we're going to switch topics on it, I've got a clip on that because I really do want to talk about that. I feel like this rapid execution these rapid executions need to be talked about. So I've got a clip on this.
A federal prison in the United States has carried out the execution of a convicted killer, Brandon Bernard. The African-American man was part of a gang who abducted, robbed and murdered 2 white youth ministers in 1999. Well, he's the 9th federal inmate to have been put to death since July. More federal prisoners have been executed in the US this year than in the previous 56 years combined. Lebu Diseko has this report.
Brandon Bernard had been on death row for the last 20 years, and on Thursday he became the first federal prisoner to be executed during the presidential transition. It's one of 5 that are scheduled. If the rest go ahead, Donald Trump will have overseen the deaths of 13 federal inmates since July this year, more than any president in over a century. The federal death penalty was reinstated in 1988, but executions were rare. Just 3 had taken place since then, and none since 2003. But in July, the Trump administration resumed the practice after a 17-year hiatus. Brandon Bernard's case had attracted the support of celebrities like Kim Kardashian West. The reality star and prison reform activist had called on her followers to tweet Donald Trump to save Mr. Bernard. And tomorrow, another federal execution is scheduled at the same penitentiary in Indiana.
These executions come just weeks before Joe Biden takes office, and he has said that he will seek to end the death penalty. The incumbent president would usually defer to his successor and let the president-elect set the course. But Donald Trump's attorney general says he is just following the law. He says he owes it to the victims and their families to carry forward this sentence. Lebu Diseko, BBC News, Washington.
Okay, so it's just crazy to me. You know, Kim Kardashian could have talked to, not just said to all of her followers, hey, tweet Donald Trump, tell him to do this. Come on, give him a fucking phone call. Come on. Kanye West is his best friend. That's her husband. Seriously.
He's not going to listen to nobody. Yeah,
We've got to start relying on Kim Kardashian for anything, and every celebrity needs to take a seat. Period.
This just shows how crazy America is, that we're looking at Kim Kardashian to talk to our president.
Well, reality stars can talk to reality stars, right? they're the only people who understand each other.
They're both nuts.
Yes, I agree.
So
talk to him directly, like not by text. Say, "Oh, my followers, go text him." I mean, like seriously, Kanye West did a huge favor to Donald Trump. Like supposedly made some Biden voters go vote for Kanye.
You got to remember that Donald Trump's used them, and now he's through with them. He's not going to, and the only reason he's doing this is because he's madder than hell that black people voted him out of office. That's who's responsible. The black women in this country got their butts out, and they voted his butt out.
Well, sorry, why are we talking about celebrities? I couldn't give a fuck about celebrities. Celebrities have no place in this process. They have no place. It's lawmakers, legislators who decide all of this stuff. So we shouldn't be talking about, like, why have I seen so many of these people's private parts? Like, it's ridiculous. Melania, Kim Kardashian, I've seen so much of them. It's too much. We shouldn't be talking about these idiots. It's down to people that you guys vote for, not celebrities.
And this goes back to Bert's. And this goes back to Bert's point. He's a murderer, and people should be saying it into the camera, not just us. But that's what the media needs to actually be responsible for making. It took them 2 years to call him a liar. You know what I mean? It was like a falsehood. I didn't even know falsehood was a word. So it's he's a murderer. Call it out from here till he gets.
He needs to be at the
They're
Hague.
scared. Because he knows how to weaponize words. That's the thing with Trump. He knows how to weaponize words. So the media trying to keep themselves together and trying to keep some semblance of being a news organization and just resources. They just don't want to get involved in that kind of thing because he knows how to spin words. He knows he's a reality show TV celebrity that knows how to work it, and that's about it.
Talk about spinning words. Talk about spinning words. Like today he tweeted, I just want to stop the world from killing itself. Would you ever jump off a cliff? Are you serious? I'm watching this in Ireland going, he was just laughing at 600 people dying in Germany. He just executed a man last night. He just decided on Wednesday that only Americans can get the vaccine if it's made in America. He doesn't give a shit about the lives of the world. And guess what? The 6.8 billion people outside of America don't give a shit about him either. But it's pissing me off and he triggered me. Sorry.
Patty, I got to tell you, Patty, celebrity is a double-edged sword in America because they're going to need them to convince everyone that this vaccine is safe. So you know what? They put them on the shelf when they need them, and they take them off the shelf when they need them. I'm indifferent. I actually think that they should stay in their lane. If they're not going to go into politics and be a politician, they should just shut the hell up, personally.
I'm not going to lie, Lord Timothais. Today, Anthony Fauci said that it was an African-American woman who came up with the vaccine. That it was her work that proved pivotal for the vaccine to happen. So he has to try and push that narrative in order to get certain people to take the vaccine. But unfortunately, him doing so is going to cause the 74 million people who voted for Donald Trump to go, well, I don't trust it now. I don't trust it at all.
Let them all go. You know, it's either they have to die from their own illness, mental, which creates them not to get the vaccine, or they're going to have to find internment camps for those people once they get it. That's just where it's going.
But the problem is then it'll pressure, like my brother's the COVID doctor in Dallas. And I was like, so what, same thing that you were saying, like, so what if they don't take it, the people who die. And he says, well, what that does is it creates pressure on the virus and then it mutates. So then again, we're back at square one. So we actually do need these celebrities, like you're saying, take them off the shelf. If they're going to be our voice to their platforms right now to get like this common sense out, then we do need them for that. But I don't think they need to be running for office. They're human beings, they're American citizens, they're allowed to have their opinions, but I don't think that their place is in office. That's just
I'll ask one question. Can any of you name one other country in the world where that depends on celebrities to guide the narrative? Name one. Name one other country that is so dependent on celebrities to push a narrative because your legislators and lawmakers are too incompetent to do so. Name one country, by the way.
We can't. We can't. You win. We can't.
I've got a really important question for Paddy actually right now, because I would like to know if everyone is taking this seriously in Ireland, like if everyone's actually wearing their mask above their nose. Do you walk to the store and see them wearing it above their nose?
So here there's a mask mandate here in Ireland. So obviously we went into a second lockdown for 6 weeks. We were able to reduce cases by 82%. We were able to reduce deaths by 82%. This week, we had 5 deaths in the entire week, and that's still too many, so we're doubling up on efforts. There's a mask mandate to wear a mask in all stores and all places where there are multiple people. And just today, I was in the store getting some Coca-Cola product. I'm not sponsored by them, but some Coca-Cola. And then a guy came into the store without a mask. I said, don't come in here with a mask. And he said, sorry, ran back out to his car, got his mask, came back in and apologized. If that same scenario happened in the USA, there's a good chance I could be shot in the head. Like we have taken this thing very personally. We have personal responsibility. It's not enforced by the police or anything like that. It's enforced by ourselves. And because of that, we're going to be able to celebrate Christmas with other families and other groups of people because we've managed to capture COVID a little bit and make sure that it hasn't spread as much as, like the USA, 3,500 people are dying every day. We've had 5 people die in 9 days. So that'll give you how different things are here.
Oh. Can I tell you the report of Albania? Wait. I need to tell you guys the report in Albania. I learned a new way to wear the mask. It's really convenient. Look, it's like this. Like a brilliant, guys. This is how they wear their masks in Albania. I learned a new technique. Timothais, you approve of this way? Is it good?
I do not.
Well, this is the fucking way that the Albanians are wearing their fucking masks.
Can I just say?
You would think that I would be like, hey, can you wear your mask properly, buddy? I already tried that a couple times, and I'm like overwhelmed by fucking people not wearing their mask. It's like this.
Bert, you said last week, Bert, you were like, I got to get out of America. I got to get out of the United States. I don't feel safe here. Day one, he arrives in Albania. He's in a mob, and he gets tear gas. Now nobody's wearing their masks, and people are threatening his life.
Let me tell you the truth. 30% of people are wearing their masks properly. 30%. Another 30 or 40% are wearing their masks improperly. That would be like this, or like this, or like this, or maybe like this. This is improperly. This is also improperly. When it's almost touching, it's just a tip, You know, they're playing just a tip right here. It's really, really nice.
I can't go there with that one. All right, you guys. So I'm going to pivot real quick. You know what Paddy said. About personal responsibility. I have a clip about our favorite lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. And let's talk about some personal responsibility.
Coronavirus has again hit President Trump's inner circle. This time, it's his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who was reportedly admitted yesterday to Georgetown University Medical Center in Washington. And then last night, Giuliani tweeted that he's getting great care and feeling good. Weijia Zhang now reports from the White House.
How you can say this is unsupported when there are now tape after tape after tape.
Rudy Giuliani appeared on television Sunday morning, claiming President Trump's fight to overturn the election results was making progress. Just hours later, the president revealed that Giuliani tested positive for COVID-19. In a tweet, he wished Giuliani a speedy recovery and praised him for working tirelessly, exposing what he described as the most corrupt election by far in the history of the USA, a claim that Mr. Trump continues to peddle, even though it is not true. Giuliani's diagnosis follows weeks of traveling across the country to contest the November results through courts. Last week, he spoke in Arizona, Georgia, and Michigan, often without covering his face.
I don't want you to do this if you feel uncomfortable, but would you be comfortable taking your mask off so that people could hear you more clearly?
Can you hear me now? Last Tuesday, the Arizona Republican Party tweeted out this picture of Giuliani posing with several lawmakers, all without masks. The state's legislature announced Sunday it would close for a week out of an abundance of caution for recent cases and concerns relating to COVID-19.
In a statement, the Trump campaign legal team says Giuliani did not experience any symptoms or test positive within 48 hours of returning from his trip. He was most recently in Georgia on Thursday. As for their efforts to fight the outcome of the election, a campaign attorney says Giuliani.
All right. So where I want this conversation to pivot a little bit is towards personal responsibility, because I think one thing in this country that is lacking during this moment is any sense of personal responsibility for COVID, for caring for other people. And you look at Giuliani right there. He so blatantly traveled, did everything he could to get this virus, right? I mean, he even wiped snot all over his face. I mean, he worked it to get this virus, and with no regard. And we all know he's getting probably the best care possible, which is not available to to America as a whole. But what has this administration kind of shown as far as personal responsibility? They have set no precedent, right?
None. But they get the best health care possible. Whenever they catch it, they're the ones being rushed around and wasting resources. I don't think that they should get that. If you don't show personal responsibility, sign a DNR and just let it be. That's me.
Like Rudy Giuliani got Rudy got the Regeneron nonsense. Rudy got all of that. Rudy was on earlier on that day, actually, on a different show, and he said, you know what, my suggestion is people should just get treated for it as soon as possible. What are you waiting for? And I said, well, actually, they're waiting because they're going to the hospital with certain symptoms and they're being told, no, you go home until you have the rest of the symptoms. And by that time, it's probably too late. They can't afford to skip the queue like Rudy Giuliani did and get these magical cocktails worth millions of dollars. And you know, it's infuriating. It's infuriating that these assholes are on the TV preaching to the rest of America. This is what you should be doing when it's not ever achievable. Personal responsibility starts from the top down and from the bottom up. There's no perfect scenario, but sorry, I'm just angry today.
No, me too. I'm angry about that.
Just fucking angry.
I'm furious about it, but it's the sign of a dictator is his friends and family gets all the health care first. And, you know, that's how it is all over the world when you have authoritarian dictatorship.
And you want to talk about dictatorships?
I think that the authoritarian dictatorships actually have better healthcare than the United States because I'm sorry, if I go to the United States and I don't have any healthcare, I'm going to get charged like $50,000, $100,000. Oh, 2 nights in the hospital? Yeah, that's $50,000. I saw one lady that said, "Oh, this hospital room is $3,000 per night." I think that's really cheap. Because some people get charged $50,000 per night to be stuck in the hospital.
Well, I'm talking about his friends and family, though. They get Walter Reed and all these kind of places.
The problem was really that when Trump arrived on the scene in New York City in the early 80s, was when it became, that was the me generation, where everything, he was part of that whole
Greed.
Greed. Yep. And he brought that to the White House. So it's hard to have personal responsibility. Like those 74 million people will not have that. And they won't have it when we do get a mask mandate.
Well, they still don't believe it's real.
So I genuinely thought from Ireland, I thought that the American attitude towards this virus would change when the politicians, when Trump and his family would get it. And I thought when some of those people die, it'll be taken serious. But of course, because I have free healthcare in Ireland, I forgot that it's only the wealthy in the USA have proper healthcare that can combat this thing properly, and everybody else are just fodder.
Well, Patty, you know what, Patty? No matter how much money they have, if not everyone takes the vaccine, they're going to be running from it too, no matter how much money they have.
Yeah.
It's. I didn't think I was going to contribute to this segment because I'm just exhausted. I've cut off people because they just won't wear a simple piece of cloth, 3-ply over their nose and mouth to care about my life just a little bit. So I just basically I got nothing. I have no sympathy. I have no I got nothing. If you can't take 5 seconds out of your day just to put on a mask, just because you may or may not, or he may or may, just because you just care about your fellow human being, then you and I have nothing to discuss.
They don't care about nothing.
Well, we've seen this behavior before too, though. We've seen this in the 1918. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there were anti-mask movements back then too. There were people that were like, take off your masks and this and that, and those were the people that died. So, they took it seriously after that. But this has become a political tool, and that's why it's continuing to gain traction, and more people will just keep dying, unfortunately.
Well, shame on them.
You're right, Sally. Actually, you mentioned there's.
Shame on them for letting a politician tell you.
Yes.
Who sneezed in your face and if they have it or not. I mean, heaven forbid, they're with you all the time, 24/7. Shame on you for believing in a. You know how that saying goes: a fool in his or her money is always parted. I now say the same thing with your health. I'm saying the same thing with your health.
Well, speaking about that, a lot of countries actually, if you were caught without a mask, you got a ticket. And I think we have to start part of the mask mandate that Biden puts in.
Abe, you know what? Because Abe, you know why that won't work? Because they villainize the police department so bad with this defund business. They're not enforcing it. So you're on your own. You get called on. They call the cops on you because you're not wearing a mask in the Walmart. They get there. They go, "What's the problem?" They don't want to deal with it.
So that's create another kind of job that you're the one seeing people and ticketing it, and then you have to. It doesn't have to be a cop. It just has to be somebody that catches somebody. It's back to personal responsibility. They need to get hit in their wallet.
We tried that.
That's the only thing.
Well, I think we've established that people are, have acted so selfishly during this time, and we have put ourselves in front of our nation as a whole, and we have failed so miserably. But even when Joe Biden actually puts in this mask mandate, which he probably will put a national mandate on, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, are we going to have protests? Are we going to have, the Karens of the world, Karens and Kevin? It's not going to end. And with the vaccine, it's the same kind of thing. They are kind of go hand in hand with the anti-vaxxers and people that are, I don't want to wear a mask, all that kind of stuff. We are still going to be knee deep in this until far.
Maggie, there's a group in Michigan trying to impeach Gretchen Whitmer because she cares about your health and trying to put a statewide mask mandate. They're trying to impeach her for that.
Well, they tried to kill her too.
Yeah, and they tried to get rid of Lena Hidalgo here in Houston because she was wanting to put $1,000 fine on anybody who didn't wear a mask here in Houston. And they've been after her a life since then, and it never passed. And now you see what's going on with Texas.
Look, the reason why the reason why the United States is 4% of the population and 22% of the cases is because unlike the rest of the world, the entire world, you guys are set up in a way that your taxes go somewhere completely different. And when shit like this happens, you're not taken care of by your own taxes. In Ireland, we are taken care of. I pay my taxes. During this whole COVID thing, we get about $1,900 per month. Our mortgages are put off. Our rents are put off. We're taken care of. We're given a reason, we're given the ability to stay home in a lockdown scenario. The United States needs to go into a lockdown where everybody stays home in order to stop the spread. But unfortunately, you guys don't have a stimulus package set up that takes care of citizens for more than 6 weeks, or even more than a week, actually. As it turns out, $1,200 over 8 months is not enough. You guys need that to happen to stop the spread, but it's never going to happen because you guys are so enamored and are in love with your military that you'd rather spend that money there.
I was just getting ready to say that we're too busy paying $600 per toilet seat at the Pentagon and making sure we have the biggest and the shiniest guns in war, and we can't even give the troops who are carrying these weapons a living wage in the military because he's so enamored with the fact that they want to take Confederate names off of naval bases. I want to wake up from this dream and just say to myself, it was a dream. This is just...
And here's what happens when you say no. The chairman of the Texas GOP just floated secession from the Union as a response to SCOTUS throwing at their face.
Good.
I'm going to Ireland. He sold Ireland so well today. I'm coming, Patty. Sorry.
I know.
Next flight.
Scotty was in Texas, so you can come move with one of us, okay?
Did I sell Albania well enough, you guys? It's really cheap here, at least. It's cheaper than Ireland.
Patty, I have a thought on that. So, see, Texas wants to succeed, and all the states that want to follow succeed. Good luck with that. They'll all be dead. They'll all be dead in 6 months because they'll be dead from COVID. How about that?
Well, you got to remember that when they secede from the Union, they don't have the money to take care of their own selves because the biggest states, California and New York, is who pays all their crap.
Right.
The only state that makes money is Texas, and they're going to have to pay for the other 18.
And you know how I don't think that's going to work? You know how I won't work too? Take this TikTok parlor situation. The people that are on Parler say that it's boring over there because we don't get to drag liberals over here on Parler because it's all just us. That's exactly what will happen in a Texas secession from America. They'll get tired of each other.
Well, maybe they'll just start fighting each other, and maybe that is exactly the kind of education they need is to fight each other. So maybe someone will start taking the actual stance of a liberal. Because they just want to fight somebody else. So I don't know, might work.
Maggie, can you imagine that argument? Can you really be that dumb? I got 3 more teeth in my head than you. I'm smarter than you. Can you imagine the arguments?
All the big cities here are all liberal, and that's why Texas is as fired up as they are, because they are actually losing their grasp on their conservative stronghold. This is no longer a place where they can count on that. This is the first year that you could definitely. I've never seen a Ted Cruz ad in my life. He was on a bunch of ads this year, and I was like, holy crap! You guys must be scared if you're running him out on publicly somewhere. So
and Saadia,
we all remember your great governor Ann Richards. She was wonderful.
Saadia, it comes full circle. They are afraid of losing the status quo for themselves. They're afraid that if it doesn't look like them, oh my God, we won't be. What would white privilege mean? Oh my God, I don't know.
I think
we won't be able to say that exactly right. We won't make jokes about gay people. That's what they're afraid of.
Well, that right there, Amanda. It does, I think, boil down to fear. It's fear of being the minority, fear of them not being seen as being the best in their mind.
Said that months ago.
And race. And that's exactly how it all boils down to. They are afraid of what they are not.
Well, they know they're going to be a minority in just a few years.
Some of the and brightest minds are black and brown and beige, and they know it.
Yes.
They know it.
Yes.
There's a black doctor right now who through nanites has cured a form of cancer. That should be front page news everywhere, and it isn't.
Well,
I actually think she's part Irish. Yeah. Good. Yeah, she was 1/16 Irish.
Got it.
my God.
Well, in America, she's black. How about that?
Hey, listen, in Ireland, we have a town named after Barack Obama in Ireland because his great grandfather was partially Irish. So like we'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it. No problem.
I say this all the time. And I want us to all think about it. Why are we rewarding mediocrity? Why are we rewarding just basic? I'm just gonna say basic bitches. Why are we rewarding that?
Well, honey, when you look at Donald Trump,
to anything but your mouth, not wearing a mask, and your First Amendment rights, and if you really knew what was in the Constitution, which you clearly don't, wearing a mask doesn't impede your right to anything in the Constitution, dummy.
Really?
well,
They're looking.
I only speak one word of sign language, and this is what I tell them all.
Saadia, you were going to say something?
I forgot what I was going to say. Actually, that just took that. There's nothing that can follow that up. So.
That's true. Hey, I do know a big a jaunt of sign language. I could teach you some really fun stuff.
I'm down.
Right?
I almost went to jail for doing that one.
One thing though, I wanted to talk about for just 1 second, like these kinds of lockdowns. I mean, a lockdown is good, and curfew. I mean, a curfew doesn't really do anything, honestly. I don't understand. Even here in Albania, they got a 10 p.m. curfew. In Serbia, they've got a 6 p.m. curfew. What's it gonna do? Wear the freaking mask all day, every day. That is what's gonna help everybody. And the people are like not wearing their masks. So down here, I'm working at the grocery store. I'm working at the office. I'm working in the laundromat. I'm working here. I'm working there. I'm walking down the street. I'm wearing the mask down here or down here. Doesn't matter. Down here and down here is the same.
Honey, I was watching Kate and William on that little train episode that they were doing, and here a Countess somebody met, Prince William and.
Fuck them. They're English. Sorry. As an Irishman, I'm sorry. I can't listen to that shit. No. Fuck the English. No.
Hang on. It's not good. It's not good, honey. Give me just a minute.
Okay, yeah. I'll drink my milk and shut up.
When they got off of that little train episode they went on, some countess, another, met them at the train station, and she had it like this.
Oh.
Of course.
I think that's par for the course. I saw that yesterday here in California.
What the hell?
But this is what I'm talking about, personal responsibility. We have obviously shown in this country that we are not responsible and we don't know how to act like adults. So I think we deserve every single kind of lockdown, every single mask mandate that we have coming to us, because people obviously
aren't idiots.
Can't do the right thing, unfortunately.
The next 6 months is going to be, I think, very scary. I just am.
There's going to be more people dying the next 6 months.
I'm going to show the clip.
More people are going to die from this pandemic than were in 1918 to 1920.
Can I tell you guys?
Yep, go for it.
Can I just tell you guys, in China, when the pandemic first started, there was nobody wearing the mask like this. There was nobody. Everybody wore the mask like this. In the beginning of the pandemic, the first day of the pandemic, on January 23rd, I never saw someone wearing the mask like this or like this. Everyone had the mask on. Everybody was washing their hands. Everyone was doing all their parts.
Because they learned.
And we still had lots of cases in Beijing and all over China, and probably more than what was actually exposed. We probably had 5 times more than the actual official numbers. But they now have no cases, if not maybe 10 cases, maybe 5 cases. If they get multiple cases, they test 1 million people. So they don't want to have any cases. So they wear their masks. I'm just saying.
I've seen Asians for years wear masks when I'm traveling because of flu and stuff. Go.
So with that, you guys, I'm going to pivot over to a clip about the vaccines and the Pfizer vaccine coming. So.
Our series, Vaccinating America, focuses on what you need to know as the FDA Advisory Committee considers the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. Canada approved the vaccine yesterday, but there are some potential side effects that people should be aware of. We're going to get to that. First, I want to let you know that 2 of the first people to receive the Pfizer vaccine in the UK experienced adverse events after the injection. Now, you also need to know that both patients had a history of allergic reactions, and both of them have recovered. Our Dr. John LaPook joins us now with how this could affect the vaccine rollout. Dr. LaPook, good morning to you. Let's start there in the UK. We hear that there were 2 significant adverse events in the initial rollout. What does that tell us here in the U.S. about what to expect?
Good morning, Tony. Well, you know, we don't have really a ton of information about it. We know there were 2 healthcare workers who had such severe history of allergies that they carried EpiPens with them. And shortly after getting the vaccine, they developed a severe reaction, and they fortunately were able to give themselves the EpiPen and got better. You know, that type of reaction tends to be very rare. Of course, our regulator is going to be wanting to look at it very closely. I spoke to Tony Fauci about it last night. He said, you can bet that today that's going to be in the discussions in the EUA application that the FDA is going to be having. But the more common reactions are much, much milder.
And what are those common reactions? What should people be prepared for as we start getting injections as soon as Saturday?
Well, there are reactions that show that the vaccine is actually working, that it's stimulating your immune system. So redness at the injection site, pain, swelling, you may have some fever or a headache, some muscle aches, fatigue, things like that. They tend to be transient. They go away in a couple of days, and then off you go. It's actually a sign that says, okay, my immune system saw something, it reacted to it, and hopefully it's the beginning of me being protected.
Yeah, as we talk about side effects, I don't want people to lose sight of the main effect, which is an increasingly well-described protection against the coronavirus itself. On that subject, I know you've dug into the data that Pfizer provided to the FDA. What stood out to you?
You know what? What stood out to me was how much information there was and the detail that was there. 53 pages from the FDA alone, and then much more than that from Pfizer. I looked at every word of it. And I got to tell you, Tony, I would be flabbergasted if this emergency use authorization is not approved today. I really would. I think that with about a 95% efficacy rate at a time when there's a raging pandemic, and we heard about the statistics about what's going on across the country. If you look at a map, it's like it's on fire. And so far, the safety profile looks good. I mean, less than 1%, like 0.63% of reactive side effects in the vaccine group versus 0.51 in the placebo group, so a little bit more. And they're going to be looking over the years and over the months to see what happens, not when 44,000 people take the Pfizer vaccine, but when millions of people take it.
So let's talk about those millions of people. What is the magic number that we're paying attention to? How many people need to get vaccinated before we can feel like, okay, we're going to get past this?
So we're hearing about this herd immunity number that fluctuates depending upon how you look at it. So it could be anywhere from, say, 70 to 80, 85% of people needing to be protected. Now, how do you get there? So for one thing, you have natural immunity. Unfortunately, that's happening. So we're having some herd immunity happening because it's such a huge outbreak in the country right now. On top of that, you have the vaccine, 95% effective, and we're hearing from Monsef Slaoui yesterday. He told me that by mid-end of March, we should have 100 million people vaccinated. But that's not going to get you to the 70, 75, 80% number, especially if it turns out that 40% of America is not going to be taking the vaccine because they're afraid right now. So we have a lot of education to do. And the bottom line here is we still need to be wearing the masks, washing our hands, doing everything we've been told, because at the beginning, until we know what's going on, you can't assume that if you got the vaccine that you're protective. We have to have belt and suspenders.
Well, that.
All right, guys. So
I'm going to leave that long.
So how screwed do you think we are right now?
Royally.
Very.
Royally. Because people don't want to wear masks. They don't want to socially distance. They don't want to,
And
they don't want to take their vaccine. What the hell do you guys want? Like, I don't understand. You have everything. You're watching the rest of the world do it, but for some reason you're just being ornery and you just want
they want a little somebody to come and go, well, it's over, baby. Y'all don't have to worry about nothing. They want it to fall in their lap.
I think Lord Timothais.
A lot of people are told that that it's like less than 1%, and it's not. It's like 1.5, if not 2.5%. It's really a high percent of death rate. It's not good. Sorry, did Lord want to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think Lord, real quick, I think Lord Timothais said it right when you said, when are we going to wake up from this nightmare? Because we have so far to go, and there's so many hurdles to overcome, and it just feels so soul crushing right now.
Because let's be real too, the way the testing rolled out failed. Now, since Trump won't share the transition information with the Biden transition team about Operation Warp Speed, they don't know about the rollout of the vaccine. So let's just be real. Most of us, if any of us, won't see it until April or May of next year. Because there are only so many doses that the Trump administration purchased, and as we learned, Pfizer offered more, but Trump said no. So it stands to reason. The $765 million he gave Kodak to make cameras, who all of a sudden decided they wanted to make vaccine and all this kind of crazy, that money could have gone into the implementation of the vaccine. So he already knew he was going to lose back then. So he wanted to jam up this process for the new president. So it was already premeditated, and it's starting to show he knew he wasn't going to win.
I'm going to get it soon.
And what's conflicting with that, Lord Timothais, is that he's so worried about his legacy and taking credit for the vaccine that today he got his chief of staff to ring the head of the FDA and says, approve that by tonight or you're fired. That's it. You're gone. So he doesn't care about due process at all.
You know what he does? In fact, he's good at telling Trump to go screw himself, and that's exactly what he told him again. Go screw yourself.
But he doesn't even understand the process, because the FDA already said that they recommend it. So the last step is actually the CDC, which is Sunday, and they vote on basically the terms of who's going to get it in the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. He doesn't even understand the whole process. I don't actually know. He's just chaotic. Absolutely.
All he
chaotic.
cares about is him getting credit. He's been tweeting about it for the last 2 days. Joe Biden is not going to get the credit for this vaccine. It's all my doing. Me. Meanwhile, 15,000 people died in the last week, and he hasn't said a fucking word.
You know what, Patty?
He can never say anything.
You know what, Patty? Joe Biden has already taken credit. Actually, the 4th of November, when he got to work in his basement, he already took the credit. So Trump can just jump off of a short pier. I'm trying not to curse. Can you tell?
I don't know. Are you allowed to curse on this show? Is anybody monetized?
Because no one's monetized, right? So we can curse.
Oh
right?
yeah. Well, okay. If that's the case, then Trump is a cunt.
Oh hell!
Cunts.
Okay, not with the C, with the K.
Sorry with that. Had to be done.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay,
I'm here all night.
I loved it.
I want to talk about.
I saw a sign about Trump that was the best I've ever seen.
Celebrities saying, "I got my vaccine." You know, it's really this is such a douchey country. It really is.
Well, you did hear about all
the damn thing. I can assure you.
All the former presidents are coming out, and they're going to go on TV and take the vaccine themselves as well. So at least we've got former presidents coming out like Obama and Bush saying that they're going to come out and show the world, which is at least, a step in the right direction.
It is, Maggie. But, like you said earlier, we have to convince these crazies that they're not being injected with nanites and microchips that control their every. They're going to turn into a human Google machine. Oh, I need
this
milk.
Is a microchip.
The government knows I need milk. The government knows I need cheese.
Listen, the reality.
But it's made by their man.
So here's the thing. We're going to get the vaccine and everyone's all excited. The reality is the distribution of it. And it came out yesterday or 2 days ago that it's going to be FedEx, UPS, and DHL that'll be distributing it and flying it. And my sister, who's in the clothing business, says they can't even deliver a shirt on time, let alone something that has to be 94 degrees below zero.
Wow.
And then once they deliver it, and it's going to be a government situation, it'll be like, oh, my 10-minute break is time. Let me leave this refrigerated thing open so I can go on. It's human error is a nice.
And then Abe, you know, the head doctor of Project Warp Speed, as you can see, I'm reading up on that because that's where the money is. You guys will know there's a bigger story with that. But the head doctor of Project Warp Speed says, well, I don't know. We don't know anything. We don't know anything. They're not telling us anything. So Pence and the Burks, they've just stopped communicating. They've just dropped the ball. There's nothing happening. Zero. He's just like, I don't know what's going on. And then they said the vaccination will be free, but the hospitals can charge whatever they want to put it in your arm. So there's the rub. You see what's going on here, people?
There we go.
Yep. So then you go to CVS and Walgreens. Those are the two main distributors. So to avoid the hospitals, if you can do that, that's the best option to go by. I think that's where I'm going to go at least.
Ultimately, I would say that people will buy into the vaccine in about 3 to 5 years' time when they realize the amount of pre-existing conditions that they've gotten as a result of having COVID that are not going to be covered by their insurance companies.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, it's going to cost them 80 grand to go to the hospital because they wouldn't get a fucking vaccine. And that's when it's really going to hit home in 3 to 5 years.
Look, I'm going to tell you this much right now. They're going to, Charli D'Amelio and Kim Kardashian and them are going to make it so fashionable to take this vaccine. They're not going to be any. They're going to be long lines waiting around the corner to get this vaccine. Oh, I can't wait to do my little dance routine trying to get my little vaccine. They're going to come up with a campaign.
My dancing vaccine.
I'm telling you right
I
now,
think this
because
is a Darwin moment.
Black women right now, as it stands, they're not taking it. I'm not speaking for all of them, but for 80% of them, they're not taking it. And that's just that.
Yeah.
What is the
I've heard a lot of them say that they're not going to.
Well, because of think about it, Black people in vaccinations, and they don't have a good history with America being used as test dummies. The Tuskegee Airmen sit there and was injected with syphilis, thinking they were getting the cure for it, but they were getting injected with it to see how long it would take for them to die. So no, Black people don't have a good history with something that they're supposed to trust in their government at the helm.
Even the polio vaccine, Black people were mostly given the shots, and white people got the sugar cube with the drop on it.
Okay, well, like I told you guys before, they better shoot that stuff up in the air like it's like they spraying mosquito mist, because I'm gonna tell you right now, unless you thinking you at the disco walking into a cloud, ow, you get injected, you're not gonna know. I'm telling you right now, it's just not gonna happen. This is America. Look what happened in the election. You actually think that vaccinations are gonna go just as smoothly? Because then it'll be because they're worried about the vaccination wars. The haves and the have-nots getting it and not getting it. It's already happening with Rudy and Herman. Herman's dead. Sorry. What's the other one? What's the other guy? The doctor. What's the other one?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? The one that does this.
What's his name? Yeah.
What is his name?
The HUD guy. What's his name? Carson.
Ben Carson. Yes.
And
the other one. Did you say HUD guy or hot guy?
HUD.
Okay.
Not hot.
Not hot.
If you're friends with people in government, they're already lining up, and their families are already lining up to get this vaccination before the regular people. You know this to be true. It's America. If you don't think this will happen, you got your head in the sand.
But the process itself currently is a disincentive as well, because you got to take it, and then 28 days later you got to take another one, and the amount of people who are just not going to bother because they think one is enough, or the amount of people are going to go, well, I'm not going to pay for 2 shots. I'm going to wait until it's just 1 shot. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to wait, and all of a sudden 2021 is also gone for you guys. Meanwhile, in the rest of the world, because we locked everything down and have done things properly and actually properly traced and tested, we're going to be absolutely fine in May. It's going to be great. I'll send pictures.
For the college kids, you need to mix that into a cocktail, make it nice and cold. For the old people, you need to tell them that
Why just for them?
Listen, you need to rig this to the age group that you are trying to sell this shit to. I'm telling you right now.
Just
That's what
raise
you
it
need
and
to
pump
do.
it up their
For the
ass.
black folks, you need to put it into some kind of cigarette somehow and smoke it so they can smoke up the whatever you need to create it.
Can
To
you
get
fry
it done.
it in some chicken?
But we are going to play whack-a-mole with this crap all over this country.
Yes. Ooh, now that
until
was not
everyone's
good.
on one page. And because Biden is president,
Y'all are freezing and carrying on.
this is what my fear was. Fauci was the big reason why they didn't want to wear masks. My big fear was put Fauci in the background. Stop putting him on TV because the 74% of Trumpers just recognize Fauci for the message that he sent and what Trump said about him.
Yes.
Put Fauci in let him do his thing behind the scenes, but make it a new spokesperson. Put Fauci in the back. We don't need to see him on TV anymore. He's making this worse. People won't take it if they keep seeing his face. I'm telling you right now.
Really? That's a good point.
It is.
It's truth.
Well, that's the thing. We have such a difference of opinion about what is fact and what
Y'all,
is
is it my computer or is it?
It all comes back. It all comes back to that whole Democrat idea and liberal idea of messaging. You guys cannot message to save your fucking life. You don't understand what marketing is. Defund the police, Dr. Fauci, microchips, Bill Gates. It doesn't work for 150 million Americans, and yet you guys keep repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So who's more crazy? Donald Trump, who does the exact same thing all the time and succeeds, or us, who say the same shit all of the time and lose all of the fucking time?
Keep it simple,
Sorry,
stupid. That's what we need to do.
I'm a passionate man. What can I say?
I love it, Saadia. I love it.
It's the pink shorts. I'm wearing pink shorts tonight, and it's like, it's just getting. You know what I mean?
Got you fired
It is
up.
what it is.
I'm gonna
they're tight around your.
All right.
Oh, Amanda, take me to bed. God damn it! Just get it over with, for fuck's sake. Just do it already.
Wow.
God
Oh,
damn it.
wow.
Yeah.
Y'all are freezing, and is it my computer?
No, we're freezing because you're so hot. Jesus Christ. See you later.
Okay, so you guys, I'm going to change topics. I'm not going to show a clip of this because we only have about 15 more minutes, but I do want to talk about Georgia and the importance of, us getting these Senate seats. And I want to talk about the debates and the lack of debate that happened when Purdue didn't show up. So, and, Loeffler being a robot. And go.
We got to get this. I keep telling people, if you got to keep it simple, tell them you're not getting your $1,200 check unless we take over the Senate. So go. If it's got to be boiled down to simple things, just like Trump does, just tell people that. Or you want that bill that got passed in the House for marijuana, you want that passed, you got to get the Senate, or it's going to die on the floor right there. So keep it simple. That's just the message I'm pushing right now.
There was a really
Go
there was a really great interview that happened with Purdue and Tillary's channel. He found Purdue, and he found him in a chicken coop, and he was brown and he was a chicken. And did anyone see that TikTok video?
Yes,
from Tillery?
that's Ben Hicks' video. Yeah, no, not Ben Hicks. What was it?
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton. Hillary
Yeah,
Clinton. That's what it
Hillary
was. Yeah.
It was good. I loved it. Anyway,
He's
sorry.
literally, Purdue is literally a walking felony. Literally.
Yeah.
And Loeffler, I'm starting to believe she actually did buy her seat. And mind you, there's a civil war going on within the GOP in Georgia.
did.
And I got to tell
Loeffler.
you, have you seen Kelly Loeffler's new commercial? It will
So charismatic.
It will have you laugh out loud. It starts out like this. There's a black woman. She's starting out. I believe in her because she believes that in women waiting on that next paycheck. You can't even get through it.
Bullshit.
You can't even get through it. I've actually made a video. If you go to TikTok, it's one of my latest videos. It will have you laugh out loud laughing. I'm not going to lie to you. It's too much. Georgia, awesome. I say that. I'm speaking to Georgia if you're listening.
Well, anybody that's gay in Georgia.
It's your race to win. These guys are imploding on themselves. It is your race to win. That's all I got to say.
And this message is to gay people in Georgia. She is she is homophobic, and it's bad. I mean, she's just a racist, bigot, and homophobe, and it's like I can't with her. she's.
And Abe, you know, you're so right. She's too old to have that long hair.
She's too old to have that long hair.
Yeah, she looks crazy. She
No,
looks crazy.
Yeah, her long hair looked
man.
really bizarre
Yeah.
to me. Her long hair looked like almost like a witch. Even though it's blonde and perfect, it was like it looked like it would make her like head like this. Your hair is too heavy for your neck.
Yeah,
Your hair
you
is
know,
too heavy.
well, that ain't her hair. She bought it.
Just stop. Everyone stop.
Because the hair was like this.
We're on a politics show and we're talking about Kelly Loeffler's fucking hair. This is the problem.
It's America.
Jesus.
Hair matters. It's America. Hair matters.
Oh my God. Like I watched her debate, and I have to say Kelly Loeffler has the personality of a parsnip. You know what I mean? There's nothing going on there at all. She clearly just got the job because she's had a sexist marriage for the last 10 years and needed something to do. But like, it's embarrassing. But here's the thing, like Lord Timothais just said, I think she's bought her seat. I think she's absolutely going to get elected. I genuinely believe she will get elected. And that's what's wrong with America.
Did y'all not see where they came out and said she offered to give $50 million to the campaign? That's how she got the damn seat.
Wow, I did not see that. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It was from a person that died or something that gave her
No,
the
he
seat, right?
resigned. He just resigned.
resigned.
Yeah,
That's not right.
Wow. Hey, that's how it goes, baby. They've been doing it here for years and years and years.
If you believe in the polls, and I'm a polls person, Warnock is beating her in the polls, but it won't matter because she's totally purchased that seat. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah. And put it this way, it's not just about Georgia, it's about the Senate. Mitch McConnell is there with his little hands, being the puppet master, making sure everything goes exactly the way it should be. His little tear fest last week because somebody was resigning, that was all orchestrated. Like, that was pretend. Like, he's like, can I say it again? Mitch McConnell is a cunt. You guys have to stop electing cunts.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah, I made phone calls.
How long has Mitch McConnell been in office? I'm just really curious.
36 years. 36
terms.
years.
Well, see,
36 years.
He took my cousin's seat.
Yeah, 36 years.
We took your cousin's seat.
That should be illegal. Like, you should only have like 8 years in the Senate. Move on to another part.
Agreed. That's what I'm telling you. They'd have to be the ones that vote on it, and they ain't never going to do it.
Nope.
That's
crazy. Maggie just turned into
Speaking of which, while the last clip was playing, Trump just signed the stop gag bill for 1 more week so Congress can reach a COVID relief package.
Oh, please.
Just so you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
breaking news.
I'm saying, fuck you, girl. Meanwhile, I just want to say that the Times, the Daily podcast today was talking about the Georgia Senate race, and apparently the Republican Party is most fearful of Warnock's seat because he's the stronger candidate of the two.
Yes.
So apparently, they're not even Perdue is not even talking about Ossoff on his campaign. He's only talking about Warnock. And you know what? I have a feeling we're taking it anyway. I have a very good feeling about it.
Yeah. And speaking of Ossoff, can you talk? I look at him as the straight Mayor Pete. That dude is so articulate. I mean, he literally you hang on to every word. You hang on to every word. And in the debate, he looked over at the empty podium, and as you can see, as my opponent, as you can see, oh wait, he's not here.
And in that debate, he turned. He was like this at one point. He was like, "Oh yeah, and people of TikTok, I got you. You got to make a plan. Oh yeah, I'm oozing my sex appeal all over you right now."
And that's
tastes
true.
good, doesn't it? Tastes
And
real
that's
good.
when Brain didn't have the big
All
O.
he has to do is talk about TikTok, and we're like, what?
Yeah. He was so charming. The Brain Daddy thought he got COVID. To get tested.
It's true.
I
No,
think
he had an orgasm.
I think he's got a wonderful career ahead of him. He's very charismatic.
I do too.
And I would love to see that. We need more people like that. We need more young people like that coming out and taking office. All right, you guys. So I'm going to start wrapping it up right now. It was a great show tonight. You guys are so amazing. I know there's a lot of us, but you know what? Sometimes it's better when we all just talk over each other. All right, so
sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Hey, no,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What? What?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Maggie. I'm sorry, Maggie.
It's okay. You know what? We're all in some kind of a delay and we do it. So I'm going to go through and I want everyone to talk about your channel. Down below, we have links for everybody so you can go and follow them on all their platforms. So please go do that. And let's start out with Amanda. Please.
Hey, everybody. And honey, I'm sorry if I talked over y'all, but y'all were coming and going and freezing. And one time, Lord froze like this.
Oh God!
Action pose.
Amanda.
Don't do it like this. Real flattering. Nice. And then Maggie went.
She wasn't. That wasn't frozen. That was just.
She was like, "Shut up!" Because she was going like, "You talking too loud, bitch."
I'm a mom. There's a reason why I do that. I'm a mom. I'm just like, calm down, everyone. Okay, the resident mother here. All right,
well, I love every single one of y'all. And Nadineiswoke on TikTok. There ain't much of me left because they've taken everything down. So y'all just have at it. And Twitter and everything. Just go and bitch all you want to, honey.
We love you, Amanda.
I love you too, darling.
We have Food X Bert from Albania.
Oh yeah, well, I'm a traveler. I'm a food kind of guy. I like good food and showing you guys good food from around the world. And I try the weird food, the crazy food, the unique food, and I just try to educate people about different cultures, traveling and everything. So like to encourage people to not be scared about like other cultures and stuff. So that's what I do on my channel, Food Expert. I hope you guys subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And I'm going to have a lot of videos coming out here in Albania. Hopefully I'm not going to get tear gassed again, but I did. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some collaborations with some great YouTubers in the next couple of weeks. Even on Saturday, I've got a video coming out with a really great YouTuber that I knew from China. So that's coming out on this Saturday. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. And anyways, the next person.
Lord Timothais.
Hi, I'm Lord Timothais again. I fight racial and social injustice on the internet. And I'm political TikToker and soon to be court correspondent for the Trump trials on TikTok. But I did want to announce a project. During this election cycle, I realized people don't know government. So what I've decided to do is write a series of children's books to teach them about the government.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so the books are already written, so I'm looking for illustrators to draw the pictures to the books. And adults, please read too, because most of you are dumb as a box of rocks if I don't say it. Anyway, but that's what's going on with me.
Lord, I think that is incredible. I will be the first to buy it and read it to my girls.
Yeah,
I love that.
The hopes is that they'll be in elementary schools and the characters will be people of all colors because that's what government is supposed to represent.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Awesome.
Next we've got Paddy the Panda. I love that.
Yeah, and I just want to say I'm available to read the audiobooks for that if you want. and I will turn on the Irish brogue a little bit more. I will leave out the C word. Just because it's kids. But yeah. But in other news, I'm Paddy the Panda. My TikTok channel is Paddy the Panda, and obviously some people are watching my YouTube channel. I'm on Twitter and stuff like that. The links are on my YouTube. And very excitingly, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the chat here, but the chat have pretty much been talking about how much they love Paddy there all night. And I reckon I have at least 6 dates lined up based on the chats there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll do speed dating 10 minutes each. That should be loads. And yeah, thanks for it. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Wow.
I love that this is somewhat turned into.
I need a cold shower now, Paddy.
Wow.
Yeah. Just look at the comments. It's
did you hear what Julie said? She said, "Please do." Look what Julie.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay. Oh my
it
God,
happens all the time. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's great.
All right, next we've got Saadia M.
Yes, and Lord Timothais, I'm actually a better illustrator than I am TikToker, so Paddy can do your audiobook, and yeah.
Really?
So it was lovely meeting you all. Yeah, for real. I was lovely meeting you all, and I wish you best. Awesome. It was wonderful having meeting you all again. Some of you, like Abe, I already follow. It's nice to meet you here. And Paddy is cool. I watch all his videos now. I'm moving to Ireland. And my TikTok is Saadia___M. And I do, I guess, musical, political TikTok videos. I point at things and bring PowerPoint to you.
Oh, nice.
That's
I know how to do
I
that.
love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, I wish I was young enough to learn how to do that. But
Oh, it's just editing. It's just editing. That's the only thing I miss. I went to school for, graphic design and we call it special effects and stuff. This is as close as I can get to Pixar. So you guys have to watch it.
That is awesome.
Oh, Saadia, there's major companies in Ireland that do animation and all of that. We won a few Oscars actually. So come on over, girl. Come on, I look after you.
I'm
It'll be
on my
nice.
way.
Saadia.
You don't have to sell it. I'm coming.
Saadia, listen, everyone's watching TikTok, so you never know who's watching you. So that's the
right.
thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm not really showing my animation skills on there. That's more. They're gonna be like,
You absolutely should. Why not? You've got a great
I gotta
audience.
help Lord Timothais take over the world first, and then we'll talk about
There
it.
you go. Yes, I'm building a brand here, people.
Yes.
Hello, you little cunts.
Hey, Amanda, that's my material. What are you doing? You're stealing my material.
Oh my God.
it's America. We're big on stealing other people's ideas.
Oh yeah, this is open for
Copyright, the right to copy.
I think they call it cultural appropriation.
Oh God. Oh God.
That's the worst joke I've ever said.
You like depth and warmth.
Oh my God.
Nice
not too
one.
deep,
Nice
Jesus.
one. Nice
Come on.
one. All right, Abe won't be silent. Please plug your channel.
Okay, just Won't Be Silent is my YouTube channel. It's my TikTok thing. In the new year, I think I'm gonna just try to really work on my YouTube channel. I'm thinking I'd like to do a call-in show. Like, does anybody watch C-SPAN where that guy people call in? Anyway, so I kind of think it's like the idea came from what we do here. So I just I'm making a film called Won't Be Silent, but since COVID happened, I just had to stop shooting. So I've been just kind of using the message of the film, which is about speaking out about all the many things that we just shouldn't be silent about. And I just want to have a call-in show that says, okay, when people call in, it'll be like, I won't be silent about whether it's gay rights, women's rights, whatever. There's a list of 12 things to kind of deal with. So that's what I'm hoping to do, and film all those and and put that as ancillary content to when I go back to filming and we start releasing it at the festivals and stuff. Because I think, that's what I want to do.
I'll be up there next month. I can come shoot it with you.
Oh, we better have tea.
All right, you guys. Well, I am Mermaidmamamaggie. That is my handle on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. But I am the host of Friday Night Highlights. And thank you guys all for coming. We've got a exit video, and then after the video, we will not be here anymore. So we want to say goodbye. So everybody wave to the
Bye,
camera.
everybody. Thank you for the moment. It was fun.
Great job, Maggie. Great job. It's not easy.
Great
It's not
job,
easy,
Maggie.
Maggie. Great job.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.
Maggie,
you're great.
Yeah, you're great at this, Maggie.
Thank you.
You are. You are.
Amazing.
The end is coming, Donald. Even Mike Pence knows. He's backing away from your train wreck, from your desperate lies and clown lawyers. When Mike Pence is running away from you, you know it's over. Trying to save his reputation, protect his future. Oh, there's one last thing, Donald. On January 6th, Mike Pence will put the nail in your political coffin when he presides over the Senate vote to prove Joe Biden won. It's over. And Mike Pence knows it.
The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.